Taurus, welcome to my channel. Let's see what messages you need to hear now from your spiritual team. We're going to get straight into it. Any information that you may be looking for, I will have listed in the description. So just check there. And let's see what's going on with you. Let's see if I can back this up just a little bit. I feel like you guys are like really, really close. There we go. Okay, so Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placement. What are the messages they need to hear at this moment? Hey, Candy. What are the messages my Tauruses need to hear? Okay, so we have listen to your intuition, then listen again as the first card. We also have every day is a new beginning. I love that. Love that. And we also have look to the natural world for inspiration. So immediately getting into the energy I have here. When it comes to your intuition, and when I say your intuition, this is your gut instincts, your gut feelings. When it comes to it giving you maybe a push or a nudge in a certain direction, it's important that you listen to yourself. Because who else is going to listen, okay? Your intuition is there to help you in moments where you need to navigate situations. It's important that you're able to have that discernment and that ability to kind of tap into your intuition as a whole so that you can sideswipe or bypass certain challenges that could just kind of come to you or come your way unbeknownst to your, awareness, okay? And irregardless of what you've been through past tense where maybe you haven't listened to your intuition or maybe you discredited your ability to maybe sense certain things being, for you, not for you, it's important that you're giving yourself the space now to kind of learn from that and move forward. That's water under the bridge. Especially with the everyday is a new beginning. A lot of times we kind of forget that every day we have a chance to basically change or rewrite our future. And that you can now proceed with the level of wisdom and understanding and make better decisions moving forward instead of like this punishment that we could almost put ourselves through because of the fact that we didn't have like a certain awareness previously. And it's like, for what? Why do you need to punish yourself for it? I'm sorry, I got really loud. Sorry. Why do you have to punish yourself for what has happened in the past and what you've learned from? You got a chance to do something different now, as long as you don't repeat the same mistakes constantly by not listening to your intuition or, not proceeding with the level of wisdom that you have. There's nothing to necessarily gripe or like criticize yourself about in regards to the mistakes you made previously. Also, for any of my Tauruses who have been just kind of feeling a little bit energetically drained, for my creatives, if you've been maybe struggling with having like the inspiration to kind of push yourself, to get out there and to full-fledged recommit yourself to your creative endeavors, it's important that you're going into nature, going outside of just your shell or your comfort zone, and maybe going to some different scenery, environments to give yourself a level of inspiration, okay? Especially if you feel connected to the water, especially if you feel connected to the trees, or whenever you're like out in your backyard, you go to certain parks, you feel a lot better. This could be what will give you that energy boost. Okay, let me pull from this deck. What are the messages coming through from our Taurus that they need to hear at this moment? What do you need to hear? So we have strengthening bonds. When it comes to a romantic connection, instead of focusing on whether or not this relationship is going to last or if it's going to stand the test of time, there needs to be a focus on strengthening the connection and rebuilding the trust, rebuilding the level of communication, where either you're learning how to convey yourself a little bit better if there's been misunderstandings, or your person working on their communication skills, or just the level of comprehension. Because it's one thing to communicate something to someone, it's another thing to understand it and also see things from someone else's point of view. So this is what's needed in order to strengthen the bonds of a existing relationship, okay? Also, just beyond romantic, this does talk about like strengthening the relationships in your life in general and prioritizing the ones that make you feel positive, that give you this uplifted energy. I'm not talking about strengthening bonds with people who you can't trust and people who you have to be weary of. Those are the people you want to not focus energy on and more so pay attention to those relationships that you value, because those are the ones that's going to be there in those moments where you need support. Okay, those are your people. We also have shine, we have sadness and isolation, we have a spiritual partnership, and we have change of focus. Okay, so the messages I'm also getting, so this goes back into what I was saying for my Tauruses who feel like you have a message you want to put out there, or you have a skill, you have a gift that you want to put out on the forefront. Spirit is saying there's no need for you to dim your light for the sake of other people's comfortability. The more that you kind of sleep on your ability to do certain things or go into the energy of comparison, it not only does the energy of comparison block your ability to be authentic, if I can talk, but it also blocks you from seeing your own potential. Because what if you put yourself out there and you do things way better than the people that you could be comparing yourself to? What if it's better than you imagine? I don't know if some of you have like some sort of, again, I keep getting a message you want to share. Maybe you want to get into public speaking. Maybe you want to put some sort of content on the internet. It's something here where it's like, look, stop dimming your light. Also with sadness and isolation, some of you have been spending way too much time by yourself, okay? Introspection is good. It is needed at times. We need to sometimes sit with ourselves and make sense of things, but it does become dangerous when it becomes like an everyday thing where you're too in your own energy, too in your own bubble. It doesn't allow you any space to kind of interact with people, get out of your own head. And I always tell you guys this, an idle mind is a dangerous playground if you let your mind start to focus on things or ruminate on things that you can't necessarily do anything about, or just past tense things. So definitely prioritizing connecting with people if you don't really necessarily do that on the regular. Also with spiritual partnership and change your focus. This goes back into what I was saying before. With an existing relationship, some of you guys are so focused on like the wrong things in terms of the relationship, in the sense of like the outcome. What's going to happen in the end of this? What is going to be the ultimate outcome? Well, the outcome is going to be shit. Excuse my language. It's going to be bad if there isn't a focus on the actual problems in the relationship and how to actually get to the root of it. What exactly is creating a resistance? Where exactly is there creating this emotional disconnect? Instead of the outcome piece, because that doesn't necessarily get to the root of the real issue if we just focus on the future. And also beyond relationships as well, with change your focus, maybe there's too much of a focus on outcomes in general in your life, and this could be something that's stopping you from making decisions. You could be on freeze mode because it's like, is this outcome going to be worth it? Even if something isn't long lasting in our lives, because nothing in our lives are permanent. Even life itself is not permanent. But even if it doesn't necessarily last for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, there's still some sort of value that comes out of dating in general and learning about yourself and what your likes and dislikes are, or what type of people you're compatible with. So there's always some sort of value, and there is success even if you don't stay with that person, or you don't stay at that job, you don't stay in that career forever. At least you got to experience something. At least you got to be able to gain wisdom. So the focus has to change, or the way that you look at things has to change in order for you to get out of this like paralysis of making decisions. Okay, so let me pull from the tarot. Ooh, these are a little bit stiff. Hold on, guys. Let me get this together. All right, so what's going on with my Taurus? What are the messages they need to hear? What are the messages my Taurus need to hear? We got the Two of Cups. We have the Devil. We have the Eight of Wands, the Ten of Wands in reverse, Ace of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Six of Cups. Okay. What do you need to hear? Well, I want to kind of focus in really quick on the Devil and the Eight of Wands here. So the Devil just talk about energetic limitations that we either place on ourselves or outside things could place on us. It's important to recognize where we could be in this energy of limiting what we're capable of doing. So for example, some of you want to move to a different part of the world. Some of you want to travel. Some of you want to move forward in your life and be free from a toxic family relationship where you live with them and maybe the environment isn't necessarily the best. Or a relationship where it could just feel very limiting or you could feel very stuck. It's important to know that there's nothing holding you back except some sort of energetic blockage. And with the Ten of Wands, if you decided that you don't want to hold on to this anymore, this will give you the mental peace, the mental clarity that you could be seeking. It's kind of like with Hoarders. With the show Hoarders, I used to watch that all the time. A lot of times what creates this relationship where people hoard things and they hold on to things for dear life, it's the emotional attachment. And of course, it's a host of other things that kind of go into it, but it's the emotional attachment to the things that they're holding on to. And it could just be garbage. Like, it doesn't even have to be of value monetarily, but some people will hold on to things because it's the emotional attachment to what it means to them. And at some point, you have to distinguish between an emotional attachment and what, I won't even say distinguish, be able to notice when you're emotionally attaching to things that are a weight or a crutch. And with the Ten of Wands too in reverse, practicing the law of detachment in general is what's going to help you vibe higher. Okay, in order for you to vibe at a high vibration, you have to be able to tap into the law of detachment, knowing that nothing in this world is ours to take off this world. Okay, we don't even get to take our physical bodies. Only thing that goes with us is our spirit. So understanding that you're light as a bird, that you are free, is going to be key in order for your personal growth. Okay, I think I want to leave the message right there. I feel like that was the message. Thank you so much, Taurus, for watching. I wish you the best of luck. If you resonated with this reading, if it was helpful, thumbs it up, subscribe, and I will see you later.